Hey guys, what's going on? It's Matt here, and today we're going to be talking about how big banks like Bank of America and Chase have prioritized bigger businesses over small businesses when giving out the PPP loans. So we're going to talk about the news, the lawsuits that's come out against these banks, and then at the end of the video I'll talk about the steps that we can take in order to make sure that we get the PPP loans even if these big banks are not paying attention to us, small businesses. So the PPP has been a big issue in recent days. In a matter of 2 weeks, all the funds dried up and millions of small business owners that have applied haven't heard anything back from their banks. Big banks, that is. So Bank of America is being accused by a number of businesses that they are prioritizing large businesses over small businesses because they want to make more money off the fees that they collect from sending out these loans. Which is crazy because these loans are basically funds that are for free from the government. That's the bank that's going through the bank for these businesses, and then these banks are trying to make as much money as possible. So if they can write a check, the bank, for a loan of $50 million over a check for a small business like mine for $25,000, their percentage of fee off that $50 million loan is going to be a lot more than my $25,000. And then that's where the issue comes, where all of these banks like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, they say that they didn't, prioritize or favorably give out loans to bigger businesses over small businesses. When you look at the amount of money that's been given to bigger businesses over small businesses, it's a big difference, right? The bigger businesses have received a lot more checks, which dried up the funds for the PPP in the first place a lot faster in 2 weeks. Like, it's crazy.
Kind of the outrage, and the outrage actually started not with Shake Shack, but with Ruth's Chris, which actually got $20 million in PPP loans. And that's because the company applied for a loan on behalf of 2 subsidiaries, and that worked. So
as a group, and this is crazy, these banks stand to earn over $6 billion for processing those loans. And like I said, the government is giving this money to the SBA, the Small Business Administration, and then the small SBA will use the banks to send out this money to small businesses. When that money goes all to bigger businesses that have hundreds and hundreds of employees, and then the ones that are really being affected, the ones that are closed, like gyms, like barbershops, like salons, like all those types of stuff that are actually closed because people can't go to them and they didn't receive anything, you kind of start asking questions like, what's going on? There's something wrong. So they're being sued because of that, right? That they prioritized bigger businesses over small businesses.
Bank of America is prioritizing some businesses based on lending relationships, forcing business owners like Yasmin Young to wait.
I was hurt.
And it's crazy too, because when you think about the number, like 5% of all of America's small businesses were the ones that applied in the first place. Were the ones that are being funded. 95% of the businesses that did apply did not get any funds. So this story has come out from a Forbes article here about a man that applied for the PPP and he didn't receive any calls back from his bank. And it resembles a lot of what other businesses, small businesses, have been encountering when applying for the PPP, the whole process. So I'm gonna break down his story here into a few bits and then give my take on it. So here in this article, he explains that on March 30th, 3 days after the CARES Act was signed into law, Bank of America sent me and other small businesses an email telling us to gather certain information if we wanted to apply for a PPP loan. I remember this, right? I got that same email. I had to go and gather my documents, all the information that I needed in order to apply for this PPP loan. I understand this. I got that email, as well as lots of you have gotten the email too. He writes, the email was a big relief. It suggested the company had its act together. I thought so too. I'm like, man, Bank of America, they're really stepping up their game here. They're gonna help a lot of small businesses out with these PPP loans, because it seems like other banks, like at the time when I applied for the PPP with Bank of America, banks like JP Morgan and Chase weren't even taking applications, and Bank of America was, and they're doing everything they can to get out ahead. So I'm like, well, this is great. This is gonna be great for us, because You know, a lot of people, Bank of America has, what, I think 1 million small businesses with accounts there. So I'm like, this is gonna be great. And then he continues and writes, what followed next was nothing. No further emails. I called my local branch. The people there knew nothing and seemed unable to connect with anyone who did. Finally, I found a link online where you could put in a placeholder application with Bank of America. A full 5 days passed, 9 days from the bill's signing, until I received an email from the bank that my loan application, by which they meant the placeholder application, had not been received. It took me to look for another email in further information. No indication was provided for when that email would arrive, or that it would instruct me to upload documents to a company which I've never heard of. This was the company that I talked to you guys about in the other video, which is called Intralinks. I remember when I got this email from Bank of America, upload these documents. They don't give you any instructions, and they did, I guess, show people or come out with a document that showed you how to do it later on. It's like a few days after they sent these emails out. Because when they did send the email out in the first place, no one knew what to do. And luckily I figured it out. I knew what to do. In the Intralinks, I didn't even trust Intralinks at first. I didn't know if it was real or not. I opened it up. I did some Google searches on it to make sure it was like a legitimate company, because of all the scams that's happening at the moment. I wanted to make sure that it was actually true. And I remember this, so I sent in my documents and I waited for them to get back to me. And this is what we're gonna pick up here in this gentleman's story. Days pass, no email. I called my South End contract, and South End is a part of Boston. I called a senior official at the bank who's a friend. He checks with some people, says it's a mess, but I should get an email. Day after day, I check my email, nothing from Bank of America. On April 16th, the Small Business Administration announces the PPP fund has run out of money. This is 15 days after I put in my initial application and 9 days after I uploaded all the requested docs. Now, I want to make a note here that I did when I uploaded my Intralinks and I waited for another email. I got a phone call from Bank of America, and this was someone from Bank of America, an agent of theirs that was supposed to, his job was supposed to move people ahead in the line that had their documents already. And I recorded that conversation I had with that agent from Bank of America in another video. You guys can check that one out. And I said, yeah, I have my documents. I told him the documents that I uploaded. He's like, great, fantastic. You should be receiving another phone call in about 5 days from the date I got that phone call. So I waited those 5 days. Wednesday came around and I never got a phone call. This guy didn't even get an email or a phone call. I got that phone call and then heard nothing. That was when, during that week was when I found out the funds for the PPP ran out.
We know the White House, of course, views everything it does as a success, but it's impossible to square those comments from the vice president with new reporting from NBC News that shows that it wasn't days before the Paycheck Protection Program ran out of money, but minutes. One bank CEO said it was like a stampede through the eye of a needle.
And this is the story of not just me or this gentleman that wrote this Forbes article, but so many people around the country that did not receive a phone call from these big banks. And I can't imagine how bad it was with other banks like JP Morgan and Chase or Wells Fargo. Who knows, how many emails these guys got and how many phone calls they got from people at the banks before they found out that everything has run out. And then you go look at the news and now these banks are being sued because it looks like they've given most of the money to bigger businesses because they're after the fees. And like I said, they'll be making $6 billion in fees from this free money from the government. So now the big banks are being sued. The banks, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan and Chase, and US Bank are being sued. Data in regular updates from the SBA suggests that banks front-loaded applications for larger loans and focused on loans for $150,000 and under at the end of the program before it collapsed. So this is what we were talking about, where these big banks, they basically just kind of focused more on the bigger loans for big businesses over the smaller loans for small businesses, kind of leaving them at the end of the line before all the money ran out. So 4 businesses filed a lawsuit against Bank of America on Sunday, and they're criticizing the way it handled the loan applications for this SBA's Paycheck Protection Program. The suit was filed in federal court in Los Angeles. And in this lawsuit against Bank of America, it alleges that Bank of America prioritized applications for higher loan amounts because those would generate more origination fees for the bank. The SBA previously said PPP applications would be accepted and processed on a first-come, first-served basis. Clearly that didn't happen because even a lot of small businesses applied and tried to be there first and still didn't get anything. So on Tuesday, the Senate approved another bill, and in this bill, another $500 billion in stimulus money would be injected into the SBA and the various programs and the various divisions that's in this bill, right? Some money would go to the hospitals, some money would go to governments, some money, and then most of the money would be going to the SBA for the PPP loans and then the EIDL loans. And the question here we're asking ourselves is, what's going to happen this time? The last time we saw that the banks prioritized big businesses over small businesses, we saw that everything was handled very poorly. The process was not smooth at all. People were all over the place. No one knew what to do. So what's going to happen differently in the second round? That's the question. And honestly, it's not clear because the SBA already has told businesses not to apply more than once, right? So don't go applying at several different banks. And there's no sign that anything has changed from the last time that the SBA, opened up their systems for loans to be processed than now. Like it seems like everything's the same. Having said that, it leaves small businesses in a bad position because they don't know if they're going to be getting funds this time around. Everything seems like it's the same from last time. And what happened last time with the PPP? Remember when the PPP funds ran out, the data came out, it showed that big businesses got over $500 million. They got tons of money. It's like new numbers have come out that it's over 70 public companies have received funds from the PPP. And these companies are huge. They can afford, they can get through this, right? Compared to smaller businesses that can't get through, economic troubles like now.
Rolls around, and Friday afternoon we got an email from the banker with the link on how to apply for the PPP loan.
Carby didn't get his $35,000 loan, but Ruth's Hospitality Group did. The owner of Ruth Chris Steakhouse reportedly got $20 million from the PPP funding.
And we also saw that companies like construction companies that were deemed essential companies, that were still working, that were still making money, were receiving the bulk and the most of the money compared to businesses that were not essential and were closed down and people can't even get to them, right? The retail stores, the ones closed on your main streets, those businesses didn't get much of the PPP funds. And then just the location, it seems like most of the funds went through 3 different states, and that's Texas, New York, and California. All of those 3 states took most of the there's 50 states, but those 3 states took most of the PPP funds, which is crazy. So what can you do as a small business to make sure that maybe you have a better chance of receiving the funds? Look, when I look at the data here, when I look at the information that we have in our hands, it shows that people that apply for the PPP with smaller banks, your local banks, are the ones that are being able to get through, because these banks can actually process the amount of loans they're getting because they don't get as much as Bank of America does, or Chase does, or Wells Fargo does. So they are able to get out more loans faster. And then also because the average amount of the checks they're writing is a lot smaller than the ones that big banks like Bank of America are writing, where big banks like Bank of America will be writing checks for $50 million. Smaller banks like your local banks would be writing checks for $200,000 and less. So maybe that's one thing you can try. Instead of going to apply for the PPP with big banks, try applying with the local bank. I know a lot of local banks are requiring people to have accounts in their banks first, And I know a lot of people don't have accounts in small banks. They like doing business with big banks because of the convenience. But when it comes to times like this, everyone gets screwed. So it's not really clear what small businesses should be doing in order to put themselves in the best position to receive the funds for the PPP loans. And to not go through what everyone has gone through the first time around and making sure it doesn't happen a second time around. One good point that I've read here is that if you have already applied and you have already received a phone call or the email, like a lot of businesses have, and then heard nothing, it may be that in the second round you are already at the beginning of the queue. So when they do start processing these loans again, you're going to be one of the first to receive these loans because you have already received the phone calls, you have already sent in your documentation, you have already gotten that email that you needed to get. So now it's kind of, you know, where are the funds to give to these people that are already in line, that have everything they need and have already been called and received the email. So one good thing that we could look forward to is that in the second round of funding from the stimulus plan is that because we have already sent in documentation and received that phone call, we'll be next in line to receive those funds. And the matter isn't if you will or will not get the funds, it's when will the funds be available to give it to you in the first place. So the big thing that the banks are waiting on is the SBA's processing system called E-Tran, and they're waiting for that to reopen. Once that reopens, then they can start processing the applications again. So that's it for this video, guys. I just wanted to go over the information that has come out about these big banks prioritizing bigger businesses over small businesses and the lawsuit that's come out against them, and then kind of talk about what we could do in order to get in the best position, which I know there's not much to talk about, but you know, let's just hope that everything's gonna work out this time and hope for the best. Okay, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so that you are always up to date with the news that's coming out about the PPP loans, the EIDL loans, and the stimulus checks, everything about those programs. Make sure you subscribe and then give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.